Hello everyone, this is Mario. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to stage 8 of the Tour de Suisse 2019 in Pro Cycling Manager. We are fast approaching the end of this race and this penultimate stage brings us another individual time trial that will favor the specialists on this type of stage. Of course, the favorite for this stage is Rohan Dennis. He also won the stage 1 individual time trial. And for the GC, it's going to be a big opportunity for Geraint Thomas to get closer to Rui Costa. So if you haven't seen the previous stage, it was another summit finish that did not go that bad for my team leader, Rui Costa, who still leads the GC. He lost 14 seconds on the road to Geraint Thomas and Egan Bernal, who finished ahead of him in the stage, but still keeps 1 minute and 31 over Geraint Thomas in the GC. So the goal today is, of course, with Rui Costa not being a specialist, it's to minimize the losses to the British rider, to Geraint Thomas. So I'll be hoping that the yellow jersey that Rui Costa is still wearing is going to be helpful and will motivate him for a good performance today. So the first rider to start this time trial is Stan de Wolf from Lotto Soudal. He is the last in the GC, 3 hours and 10 minutes behind of the GC leader, Rui Costa. So Tom Boley is the first rider from my team to start the individual time trial. He is having a +1 day and is not a terrible time trialist. And of course, I will use him to assess on the effort level required to complete this time trial. Now approaching the intermediate checkpoint, Tom Boley is having the 4th best time here, 9 seconds behind the best time from Michael Hepburn. Now going into the last kilometer, Tom Boley, let's increase his effort a bit, he still has some energy, and he got the best time at the finish line, 10 seconds ahead of Bruno Armirel. We now have Mathieu Bodnar finishing his time trial. He had the best time in the intermediate checkpoint. Let's see if he beats Tom Boley. And he does. Well, actually, Tom Boley had already been beaten. Now approaching the intermediate checkpoint, Bistrom. Let's see what his time looks like. He's already losing 1 minute and 4 seconds. It's kind of expected. So Bistrom is now approaching the end of his time trial. In the meanwhile, Manuel Mori began his. So about 1 kilometer to go for Bistrom. Let's increase his effort a bit now. He still has plenty of energy. Let's check his time, and he loses 1 minute and 27. He's 25th at the moment. So let's check the time of Mori in the checkpoint, in the intermediate checkpoint. Already losing 2 minutes and 8 to the best time here, which still belongs to Mathieu Bodnar. And Mori is going to finish his time. Let's see, he loses 3 minutes and 40. That's a really terrible time. In the meantime, we have Patrick Bevin almost finishing his time trial. He had the 3rd best time in the intermediate checkpoint, 11 seconds behind Bodnar. Let's see how he does in the end. Let's check his time. And he's still 3rd, 17 seconds behind. So not a really great performance by Bevin. So now Stefan Kung is finishing his time trial. He had the best time in the intermediate checkpoint. And he got the best time in the end, 7 seconds ahead of Mathieu Bodnar. Michael Matthews is also finishing, and he's 2nd, 3 seconds behind. And now beginning his time trial, Fabio Aru, and very soon Sergio Henao will also start his. So let's check the time of Fabio Aru in the intermediate checkpoint. He's approaching that, and he's 32 seconds behind the best time that still belongs to Stefan Kung there. Behind Fabio Aru, we have Michael Valgren doing a really great time, 6 seconds below the time of Stefan Kung, and now Sergio Henao in the same place, already losing 53 seconds. Now approaching the end of his time trial, 1.5 kilometers to go to Fabio Aru. Let's see how he does. is almost out of energy, but the time trial is finishing, and he gets the 24th best time, 42 seconds behind Stefan Kung. Not a bad result. And let's see, also finishing his time trial, we have Sergio Henao. He was already losing over 1 minute in the intermediate checkpoint, and he is 53rd, 1 minute and 16 behind. So Rui Costa is about to start his time trial. He's going to be the last rider in this stage, of course. He's having a +1 race day condition. It's not bad, but, well, I would like to have a better race day condition. Still is having a 73 time trial and 75 prologue stat. In the meantime, Rohan Dennis has the best time in the intermediate checkpoint, 15 seconds ahead of Jonathan Castroviejo, who actually already beat the time of Stefan Kung in the end of the stage. Søren Kragh Andersen has the second best time in the intermediate checkpoint, then Wilco Kelderman also with a good time. Let's now see Patrick Conrad is losing 39 seconds. We then have Egan Bernal. Let's see how he's doing. And losing 36. And now Geraint Thomas. We have to pay attention to his time. And he is 13 seconds slower than Rohan Dennis here. Now approaching that point, Rui Costa. Let's see, he's probably losing more than Geraint Thomas. 46 seconds. Wow. I need to up the pace. Rui Costa is doing terribly. Well, Rohan Dennis in the meanwhile has the best time in the finish line. Søren Kragh Andersen is second. Let's soon check the time of Geraint Thomas. We now have Patrick Conrad finishing, not a great time. Also Egan Bernal finishing his time trial. Let's increase the pace of Rui Costa a bit. So Bernal loses 1 minute and Geraint Thomas loses 22 seconds. Let's see how Rui Costa is going to do. Let's increase his pace a bit now. Let's go to 85 and push it now. And he loses 55 seconds. So Rohan Dennis wins the individual time trial, 23 seconds ahead of Geraint Thomas. Rui Costa got the 8th best time, 56 seconds behind the Australian rider. In the GC, the lead of Rui Costa is now down to 58 seconds. Of course, he still leads the mountain classification as there were no points attributed today. He still keeps the points jersey as well, now only 10 points ahead of Søren Kragh Andersen. The best young rider is still Egan Bernal, and the best team is of course Team Ineos. So Rohan Dennis, as expected, won the individual time trial. It's his second stage win in this Tour de Suisse. I was a bit scared by the time of Rui Costa in the intermediate checkpoint. He was losing 46 seconds, or 43 maybe, to Dennis in that checkpoint. At that time, Geraint Thomas was only losing 13 seconds, but in the second half of the time trial, Rui Costa performed much better, and his time in the second half was really close to that of Geraint Thomas, and in the end he only lost 33 seconds to last year's Tour de France winner. So he still has a comfortable lead in the GC. He's 58 seconds ahead of Geraint Thomas, which is an advantage that can be used to play it defensively in the final stage. The final stage, which of course, in my opinion, is the queen stage of this race. We have 3 massive climbs for the riders. The stage is not super long, it's only 141.6 kilometers long. Of course, the favorites are again Geraint Thomas and Egan Bernal. Rui Costa is among the top 10 favorites for the stage. This is of course going to be really hard for Rui Costa. Those climbs are really impressive, so I will just try to minimize the losses, I guess. Try to keep up with Thomas and Bernal for as long as I can, and try to not lose more than 58 seconds to Thomas. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this stage. It was not the worst performance ever. Rui Costa still has almost 1 minute lead over Geraint Thomas. And so if you have enjoyed it, please like my video. Also, please comment below on what you think I should have done better with Rui Costa in this time trial. And also, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel. I really value your support. And I hope to see you all next time for the final stage of the Tour de Suisse 2019 in Pro Cycling Manager. Bye!